a little bit about what motivated you to get into this career. I know when I checked your bio, you have had experience working with the FBI, with Homeland Security. You're a man in law enforcement, and to move up from a major to the colonel, it takes a lot of experience, a lot of maturity to be there. So tell us from, as a young boy, as growing up, what was your dream? How it all happened?
It was, I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I was born in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. My father used to work for the State Department, and he was stationed in Saudi Arabia. So I was born in a diverse household. We're Indian background, lived in a Saudi country. Had an opportunity to go to an Indian school and an opportunity to go to a Saudi school. At an early age, I was exposed to several cultures.
And I will cut you here in there, Colonel, because
yes, sir.
Of the benefit for our audience,
yes, sir,
and our viewers.
Absolutely.
When you say certain things, I want to kind of provoke it because I know that's what they will be thinking. Hear what? How could this guy who came from Saudi Arabia, born in Saudi Arabia, parents from India, and now he's the colonel in America? I mean, that's how they're thinking, and that's what is interesting. And I think that's a point that will motivate a lot of people to know that you can come from India, you can come from Saudi Arabia, and you can still be the colonel in America.
100%.
Excellent. That's what we hear.
That is, and it brings a lot of things to light, and I'll try to summarize all of it as we go through my journey. And it was continue on with early education, understanding different cultures and dynamics. I was exposed to the U.S. culture at an early age. My father, when he worked at the U.S. Embassy, we had a lot of multicultural events we used to go to. So there would be other embassies and other cultures from different embassies that would come and share all this. And I was very intrigued, and I really appreciated the discipline and the diversity of America, of the United States, how they treat people, how they speak to people, how the discipline is, how the character, the mannerism. But I also like the different mannerism and cultures from the Arabic culture. I had a lot of Saudi friends growing up. I had a lot of Indian friends growing up, and I had a lot of Pakistani friends and friends from all over.
So you learned the adab, the etiquettes, that friendliness with the culture, or the Islamic culture.
Absolutely.
I mean, to a point, Arab culture, Islamic culture combined together in Arabia. So you grew up with that sort of love and affection.
Yeah, I was very blessed, and to this day I thank God for giving me this opportunity to be here today. But I was blessed from the day, everybody's blessed from the day they're born.
Yes.
And
yes.
we just have to find our path.
Yes.
That God has chosen for us. So I had the opportunity of going to an Indian school also, where I learned Hindi.
In Saudi?
In Saudi Arabia.
So you mean they actually had an Indian school? What do you mean by an Indian school?
So the Indian
teachers?
embassy has their own school because there's a lot of foreigners, a lot of Indian people in the Middle East.
Yes.
So each embassy would have a sponsored school. So there was an Indian school in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
So because my parents had an Indian background, they gave the opportunity, you can attend this school. So it was an Oxford learning education. So it was completely different than the Arab schools. So I had an opportunity.
I'm sure it would have had a different class, a different standard.
100%.
A lot of professionalism.
It was uniforms every day, certain school times, different classes you wouldn't expect in an Arab country. We learned how to read and write Sanskrit. We learned how to read and write Hindi, and also learned Urdu. And there was a little bit of Arabic teaching in the Indian school as well because of the culture that we were living in.
So most of the students in this school, or in these type of school there in Saudi Arabia, were they basically, of course, foreigners who are working in the embassies, and their workers, etc. The majority would have been.
Majority of the one in the Indian school were of Indian backgrounds. Either they'll be consulate members from the different communities. In Jeddah or in Saudi Arabia, as you know, that there was a lot of turnover from workforces. So every time there would be a workforce change, people that would come from India, they would have a 2-year stay and they would go back to India. So during that transition, they didn't want to change the education. So that's why they left the curriculum the same as the Oxford curriculum that was going on in India.
Okay,
So I had an opportunity to finish up.
That's interesting. So it's a little British system in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely. So had an opportunity to finish that. I finished my 10th grade there in the Indian school. I was also going to Arabic schools at night, doing to different imams and whatnot. Had an opportunity to, I was blessed to, I was born during Hajj. So,
Subhanallah.
yeah, so, my mom still talks about that,
Fantastic.
how that transpired. But, I had an opportunity to do like 5 or 6 Hajjs before my 10th birthday, or my 15th birthday, I should say.
Subhanallah. I mean,
Yeah.
who would think that a colonel did 4 or 5 Hajj as a young boy before 10 years?
Yeah, and
That's
we're in the blessed month of Ramadan, and it was times that we're like almost an hour and a half away from Mecca. Jeddah is about an hour and a half away, and we would go to the Haram every day for Taraweeh and breaking the fast and whatnot, and return back home every night for 30 days in a row. So there's a lot of people that do that. So I had an opportunity to do that. It was very, very moving, and that country is very blessed.